We are called to order at 1:30. So, thank you all for being here. This is nice. A reminder that this is an open meeting and we must adhere to the open meeting law. And with that, we'll move along and welcome Keith and Barbara McCrae, and Anthony was here. I'm sure he's stepping back in. So we also will be blessed with Maren Toohill, who will come in and explain to us the Article 12 on the town warrant.
11 and 12.
11 and 12. So that would be helpful information, I think, for us. So. All right, announcements, anyone? Board members, do you have any announcements? No? No, you can wait if you want to as we get down. I have two that I'd like to make, and they're just really for information purposes, trying to get the word out to people, to seniors in town. And one is that Jamie Cruz of Springdale Farm has changed what she is offering to seniors from her farm stand. You know, she has all last year and then most of this year up until a week ago was giving a senior discount on every Tuesday, and you had to just ask for it. And she changed it, and last Tuesday was the first day, and so I went. And she now offers a bag of food, which she selects because, and this came about, let me just give you a little history because I talked to her about it. It came about because she was observing what seniors were buying when they did come. And she noticed that seniors buy smaller quantities than most people, which is true, you know. So she decided to put together, she came up with an idea, and she decided to put together a bag of food.
Oh, how nice.
And if you go to her on Tuesdays, she is giving out a tote bag, and it with the Springdale Farm label on it. And inside it will be a variety of items. She guarantees it's a $25 value, and she's charging $15. And so I went, and I thought I would try to share with people so you had an idea of what it meant. And in that bag, this bag, were last Tuesday, were 3 Cortland apples, a half dozen eggs, 1 sweet potato, 1 regular potato, 1 butternut squash, a bag of Brussels sprouts, a bag of green beans, a yellow onion, a green pepper, and a clove of garlic.
Nice.
It was $15. And I was told, I was asked for my ID, just so people know, and I was told that if I go back the following week, which would be tomorrow, bring my empty bag, they replenish it with their choice of items for $14.
Oh.
So I wanted people to know that she's doing that and to be aware and to go visit her if possible. She's supports seniors very nicely.
She's
as well
very
as
generous.
And I don't want to not acknowledge the Littleton Cafe, who continues to on Tuesdays provide lunch for seniors. Anything on their luncheon menu is $3 for seniors every Tuesday. So those 2 opportunities are out there for seniors to take advantage of. And I want to make sure people know about it. So, those are my announcements. Anyone else? Nope? Okay, let's move on to the minutes of the September 10th meeting.
I move we accept the minutes as printed.
I second.
Aye, we have a motion to accept the minutes as printed. All those in favor?
Aye.
Any oppositions or abstentions? No. Unanimous vote, Bob. He's catching up. We're good? Okay. Moving on. I have a favor to ask because we have Keith here with us today, and Barbara McCrae and board members. Would you be acceptable and willing to move Keith up to the top of the old business and let him explain why he's here, so that we don't hold him up for our whole meeting if possible?
Why we like him here?
You like him here, I know. Well, he's
And they
captive.
keep me here.
That's right. I know.
That's fine with me.
Are you all okay
No
with that?
problems.
Yeah.
Okay, Barbara?
Sure.
Okay. Thank you very much, I appreciate it, and we'll come back to that. So Keith, would you like to
Well,
come
thank you.
forward?
Sure, let me sit, I'll sit.
Sit
down.
where-
I'll
well,
pull my-
people-
I'll pull my chair up to the.
Yeah, we've done that,
No,
so,
there's a guest.
Oh, is
The
there?
guest
Oh, the
chair,
guest,
yeah.
look at that, wow.
well, people can't hear. We were told on TV, people can't hear people unless they're by the microphone.
Oh, that's great,
So we
very good.
move people forward. So,
Well,
welcome.
thanks so much. Keith Bergman, Town Administrator, and I wanted to do a couple of things. One is come and say goodbye, and that's very sad. I mean,
It is sad.
bad news is I'm leaving. Good news is that I'll qualify to, spend more time with the Council on Aging, since I'm retiring. And it's been a great. It's been a great time for me in Littleton. I've appreciated very much getting to work with all the town boards and staff and members of the community, and we've spent a lot of time together over the years, and I think have made some great progress together. I hope it's more fun being on the Council on Aging now than perhaps it was before, when you sort of were in the position of having to deal with daily operations and some of that, when in fact the fun stuff is giving the policy advice and just being able to look out for the big picture of what the needs are, and so we can focus on big projects like the need we work together on housing for seniors, work together on the human service needs of seniors, for which we've added staffing, and looking at what the space needs now are of the elder and human services and the rest of town government. So there's a lot of good work that's been done together, and there's going to be a lot more work that's going to continue. So I appreciate the opportunity to come here and say thank you for getting to work with you, to getting to know you. That I've really it's been a privilege.
17 years, wasn't
Well,
it?
I've been here for 11 years, and
11?
I checked the records, and I'm the longest serving town administrator in Littleton. So that means I got 2 notches on my gun belt, because I was also the longest serving town manager in Provincetown, where I was for 17 years. So in a 40-year career in local government service, that it's just been great. I've really appreciated the opportunity to work here. And on and the other thing that I wanted to mention, just to carry forward a request that Dr. Michaels had met with me about scheduling, and I know he's not able to be here today, but I did say, after I met with him, I did say that I would just communicate a proposal, which I think you know and have talked about already. But I had met with Dr. Michaels about whether there was a time that would be mutually convenient for what he's able to attend versus the times that your board is able to meet and wants to meet. So to fulfill that that commitment, to bring it back to your attention, I just wanted to raise that Dr. Michaels had suggested to me that if the Council on Aging could meet either on a Tuesday or a Thursday at 4:30 in the afternoon, that he'd appreciate your consideration of that request, and I said I would bring that back to you. So I hope you have a chance to discuss that at your meeting today. If there are other things that you'd want to discuss too, that I know Anthony will be here for the meeting, that Maren will be available, I hope, to talk about the zoning articles that are on the October 29th special town meeting agenda, to make some amendments to 2 of the articles that you've been involved with before, like the accessory apartments bylaw and the senior residential development bylaw. So we've been, we've made a lot of progress. There are still some things we're working on. The Affordable Housing Trust Fund Board of Trustees has been established now, and we're hopefully that can be a funding source for addressing housing needs in the future. That group's just getting started, and there are lots of other exciting things going on. The space needs study, I know that you talk about, and I appreciate the work that Liz and Anthony do for that on your behalf. So that's it. That's my those are the points I wanted to make, and I'd be glad to answer any questions or just do anything you like. I'm around for.
Wow.
Yeah, for a while, till the end of,
November?
it's November 2nd will be my last day. I had it all set. I said, someone asked me last Friday, I would have said 3 weeks. So it's now down to two plus weeks and counting. And I'm actually not counting, but I appreciate very much being here and working with you all. So thank you for the work that you do.
Thank you so much.
Thank you.
While you're here, though, I would just like to mention, I think I know Keith was very instrumental when I joined the board 6+ years ago in helping us to reorganize and make some changes and move forward. So, and I greatly appreciate your help and input and support.
Thank you. And and the theme that we adopted there was what were the best practices for councils on aging Massachusetts. So it's very helpful to have that guidance document from the state that we just sort of modeled ourselves after, and more
And
power.
that has been the foundation, from my experience, that we have been continuing to follow, which is vital, really.
Yep.
Because there's a lot, I think the current board members realize there's a lot going on, and there's a lot to attend to and pay attention to if we're going to advocate for seniors in a positive manner. So, thank you.
Very good.
Thank you.
All
We'll
right.
miss seeing you around.
Thank you. Well, I'll be around if you just
gotta-
probably the Starbucks in Littleton or Acton or Concord or Westford
We'll
or
welcome
Somewhere.
Tony if he makes it.
right.
Nomination.
Well, we're hoping he
Very
makes
good.
it.
So, yeah, and Anthony's not going anywhere in any event, so he's
No.
here
Yeah,
and he will
that's
be
nice.
here for you to work with. Liz, I'm not so sure. I think we saw that she's might be going and then coming back for
Just a brief
some
hiatus,
occasion.
yeah.
Okay.
Hopefully a
Very
brief
good.
hiatus.
Yes, right.
Yes.
Very good.
We're very fortunate to have good personnel.
Yeah.
We are.
We're
We're
very,
fortunate.
very happy, and you're well served
We're
by
very lucky.
Liz, and we're happy that she's here. So, thank you.
Thank you.
All right.
Well, thank
Take
you.
care now.
Listen, thank you
Thank
for your
you.
service.
Nice to
Appreciate
see you.
it.
Thank you. Appreciate it.
Yes.
Thank you for watching over us all those years.
You never let me forget you, which is your secret to success. So,
Thank you.
thanks.
Thank you.
Thank you.
All right. Keith mentioned the changing the time of the monthly meetings is on the agenda again, and that's, he brought up the fact that he had spoken to Dr. Michaels. So what is the board's desire? Would you like to?
Should we go back to our agenda?
Well, that was my question. Did you want to go back to the agenda and then
I think
discuss
go
after
back-
that?
Go back to the
Oh,
agenda.
okay. Everybody all comfortable with that?
Yep.
All right. So let's go back and invite Barbara McCray to the table, who's going to provide us with a Friends report. And Nancy, do you have particulars too to offer? Our new star.
Yeah.
I couldn't pull that up. Well, we'll have to fix that. I saw that, but I don't know if the others were able. We'll get to that. So, welcome, Barbara, and thank you.
Hello,
Thank you
everybody.
for being here.
Hi there.
You have the Friends minutes in your packet from September.
Okay. Well, we've been busy. I should say that Nancy's been busy.
Yes.
She just does something every day that's, adds to what we're doing.
true.
She went away for the weekend. Now look at her. She's
Okay, make her leave the room until I'm finished. She always tries to steal the show.
You
Well,
notice.
she is your right arm.
Yeah,
Your
and left.
husband is your left, and you're in the middle.
Right. Well, anyway, I just wanted to say that we had another successful senior luncheon. We enjoyed German-style food and each other, as a matter of fact, and also our little trip to Germany. So next month, it's back to America and our hometown servicemen and women. The Veterans Lunch will be on November 14th at the Shattuck Street Multi-Purpose Room, where we always have our gala events. The time is noon, and you need to call the COA, the broken record sound. Call the COA for your reservations. Make sure you do. And I want to say that I think people are catching on to that. It was much better this last luncheon as far as, extras coming in.
Is there a charge now for that? Isn't there a charge for non-veterans?
Right, I was just
Yeah,
going to
okay.
say
I
that
just wanted to
the
make sure we
veterans
get
and
that
their
out.
wives or partners are free, and everyone else, guests, are going to have to pay a fee.
If you come without a husband, veteran, is it free?
I don't know if we ever addressed that, but it might be.
Yes, it is.
Yeah,
That's
If
a
you're
good
the
point.
spouse of a veteran, it's free.
Yeah.
yeah.
There you go.
There you go.
And what's the usual cost? Or does it change?
It changes sometimes. We have
It's
$3
$5.
and $5 for other events. Okay, so this time it'll be American food, and we're going to make sure we have apple pie. We want to be American. And I want you all to put December on your calendar because that's when we go to the North Pole. And I'm trying to think of recipes for that. You might get a lot of cold food, I'm not sure.
Ice cream.
Do you have a December date?
Gingerbread.
I did not bring it. Do you have
The
the
December
date,
date
Nancy?
is the 12th, according
It's
to
in the
this. According to this, it's the 12th.
Okay, good. It's the 12th, so put the 12th on your calendars. I did want to say that, we're always looking for entertainment for our lunches. Sometimes we can find some and sometimes we don't, but if anybody out there is interested in entertaining us or know someone who does that, please, give us a call.
Does the Friends pay for entertainment?
Yes, we do.
Okay. I
We
can
pay
give
for
you a few
entertainment.
names.
If somebody wants to do it free, we don't
Right,
mind,
well.
but we do pay.
Okay.
You could call you can call me or send an email to my email address, which is bjtrm@aol.com, and let us know. We'll call you back. Just want people to remember the thrift shop. Go in and buy your winter clothes because we always have such a super collection. And we don't want to leave our volunteers sitting there all by themselves. They like talking to everyone coming in, so do that. Okay, so I'm going to give the floor to Nancy. And because she's been busy, she has a lot to tell you. So here's Nancy.
Thank you. I want to first to say that I thought the wellness fair was very nice. I only had one problem because I had to leave early. And I wanted to get a cookie, and I was leaving at 11. I was going up to Vermont. And Marge Payne slapped my hand and said I couldn't have a cookie.
Well, there's rules.
And they had cookies left over.
Yeah, we had 2 whole containers.
I don't believe it.
She slapped a senior?
And a neighbor and a friend. It's true.
I gave one of the firemen a bad time.
I think he was
She
scared.
was actually over there opening up the case, of, the cover off from the cookies and everything, and I just looked at it. She didn't have gloves on.
I said, I don't need a glove, I just want that one.
See, I don't need a glove.
I just want that one.
I can't believe it.
There's extra cookies downstairs, Nancy.
I'll have to get permission from Marge.
I wish I knew who did it. I'd talk to them.
Her.
Oh, I thought it was
I hope you
Mary.
put that in the
I thought it was
minutes.
Mary, but anyway, I guess it was me.
Bob, I hope you put that in the minutes. In November, we're having, as Barbara said, we're celebrating our veterans, and El Forno is going to make a turkey dinner for us
Oh, nice.
with all the fixings and the pies. So it was extremely nice of them.
Yeah.
And I have been busy with, as you know, Panera Bread is coming we're picking up their donations every Thursday morning, and I think we've been doing it for about 6 weeks now. It's been very successful. We still don't have enough people coming, but a lot of people still know about it still. So we're trying, and it's at 10:30 in the morning, because when it's delivered, we have volunteers who wear gloves and repackage the food. Then I have been in touch with Whole Foods. I think I mentioned them before. They are going to cater our December luncheon for free.
Oh, nice.
We had already decided, the board already decided it was going to be something simple because it was the holidays. We're going to do a sing-along. And so we're going to have finger-type foods, but everything is included and it's free. Extremely nice of them. The O'Neill Theaters are still giving us tickets 2 a month, complimentary, and now they've also contributed gift cards for us to hand out, which I think is incredible. They are just so generous to us, and I'm overwhelmed with Panera Bread, the O'Neill Cinemas, El Forno, and Whole Foods. So it's just very, very nice.
I think it speaks to the support that the community is giving
Yes.
seniors. It really does. When you think about that, and then Springdale Farm and the Littleton Cafe
Yes.
and others. So we're very, very fortunate in this town.
How does Whole Foods cater the December luncheon if they don't know what we're gonna have?
They know what we're having. I
She
told
said
them.
they didn't know what we were having.
I don't think she said that.
Yes, she did.
She said,
She's
Well-
right behind you.
but I didn't
What do
hear
we
that.
have?
No, they know what we're having.
Finger foods.
Finger foods.
Finger foods.
Oh, okay.
Sandwiches and things like that, finger foods.
And I am Barbara's right-hand man, so I don't always tell her everything. The Book Buddy program is going to start again in November. We're still hoping more people sign up. All the kindergarten classes want to have a book buddy, and it just doesn't look like it's going to be possible because I just have enough for one class. They meet once a month, and it's always at 10:30 to 11:45. And the people who do it just love it. I have maybe a handful of seniors that are going to do it for the 5 or 6 months that it goes on. The third graders were here and they decorated the diner. And they did something very incredible. Again, the teacher said the parents were very generous. I had suggested that one of the third grade classes maybe get some of the adult coloring books or pages or pictures of it and put it with Meals on Wheels with pens or crayons. They gave us a lot. I mean, I think I must have 25 full books, crayons, and some pencils.
Wow.
Nice.
So they're going to go out to Meals on Wheels.
Nice.
And maybe because we have a little bit, not a little bit more than Meals on Wheels people, so we're going to give some to the bingo.
Oh, great.
The bingo people will love that. And I think that's about it. If I ask Barbara what I forgot, she won't remember. Right?
Right, except that I want to brag that you have taken upon yourself to learn how to write grants.
No. Well, she's almost right.
Very proud.
I was given help with writing a grant for the Littleton Cultural Council, which was very difficult. Their online application it's almost like you're looking at a different language. It's very difficult. So I had help, and the deadline was today. I was gone all weekend, as you know, because I couldn't get my cookie. And so I had to have it done Friday, and I did. At 6 o'clock at night, I hit submit, and it was just like, wow. And then I found out I have to do it every year.
Oh.
You have to reapply every year.
But it won't be so hard next time.
Yes, it will.
Why?
Why? Because I still don't know how to get in. I mean, I had...
Okay.
And so I was almost like given a fingerprint to how to step here and step there.
Yeah.
But then they took that away, so I don't know how to do it again.
Oh.
But I know I made mistakes, but that's okay.
tried.
They told me it's okay. They are very interested in supporting Littleton seniors for their Littleton Cultural Council. So we're on the list, and we may or may not get approved, and we won't find out until January.
Nice.
But we tried.
But we
And I
tried.
think that's the important thing. And also, we're working to have someone on our board taken over, because Nancy has like 50 other things that she does.
And you all heard my song, right?
No,
I did.
mine didn't come
I didn't hear it
through.
yet. I just got the email this morning.
Are you gonna sing it?
No, I need a accompaniment.
Oh. Well, you might before you leave, you should tell people that are watching how to access it.
How
I
about
thought you
the
did in your
thrift
email.
shop?
I'm talking to the
Shop.
TV public that are watching the show
Oh.
right now.
Oh, I see. All right.
Tell them how to get to it.
Don't get away from the microphone or they won't hear you.
They could go to Littleton. You know you're from Littleton when it's on Facebook. You can go to the Littleton Common TV show. I don't know what channel you have, but on my home it's at channel 38. I think it's with Verizon.
Save it 38.
Comcast would have a different number.
On Comcast, it's 8
Xfinity is 8 or
and
9,
9.
6 or 9.
And Verizon is 38 or 39. And it's on Barbara's October show, and as her show ends, I come up for 1 minute and 33 seconds. And it's worth it.
It is worth it. You'll enjoy it if you
It's
go if you
very
watch it.
entertaining.
It's been sent to the selectmen, and I wanted to dedicate it to Anthony, but
I found the instrumental version if you want to sing it.
it talks about not having a senior center.
There you go.
Ready?
No, I need the words.
Oh.
There
It
was
was so
so
good. I just thought that.
there were so many towns that I listed that have senior centers.
That's right.
So many.
It was a big list.
It was a huge list.
What about the thrift shop? You found someone to run that?
Not yet, no, and that's really important, because I really think that I would like to retire from
Yeah,
that.
yeah.
Yeah, no, I've been begging, I've been asking.
We'll have to put that in our announcements every month now, from now on. We're looking for a volunteer. The Friends are looking for a volunteer. We should do
For the
that.
thrift shop, but it doesn't have to be one person. They can work together, 3 people.
Could be, a team or a group or a committee or something.
Write it up and give it to us.
Yeah, thank you.
Thank you, Nancy.
You're welcome.
Yes, thank you both. And thank you, the rest of your committee. You do an amazing amount of work for seniors in this
Yeah,
town.
but now you know what I have to work with.
I know. Well, I know her too well.
She's
So-
a neighbor.
All right.
Okay, so it says, this file is no longer available. This file is unavailable because it has reached the maximum number of downloads Ask the owner to resend the file. You must be very popular.
She already
Oh,
knows that.
well, you're gonna have to resend it, Nancy. I sent it out to the board members, so.
I have it
Oh.
here on my phone. Do you want it? You'll just hear the words.
Why don't we wait?
Oh, you can't hear, it's not loud enough.
No,
So we'll
why don't we wait? So the whole, yeah. So resend it though when you go home, out, and so that they can access it.
Okay, I need their email addresses.
I'll give them to you,
Okay.
if the board is okay with that. Okay. All right. Again, thank you very much.
Thank you.
Anything else for the friends?
Not today.
No? Okay, moving on then, we're going to start old business. And the first item we have down is just a quick update from the Town Building and Space Needs Analysis Working Group. And that group received 3 proposals for the request for qualifications project that, you know, they have initiated. And 2 of those 3 proposals were deemed appropriate by the committee, by the board, or the committee.
What were the proposals for?
They're the request for qualifications. It's it's complicated, but it's a request. The town has given us some money to get some input from people, professionals, regarding the construction of the complex, you know, not the library, but the town hall and a senior center or activity center, community center behind this building down here on Shattuck Street. And this,
And also an evaluation of this building, isn't that in there also?
not particularly, I don't believe, but you know, that comes into play. It's not, the evaluating this building, is that part of the request
So
for
the
qualification?
RFP was it's a request for proposal for an owner's project manager. Anytime you consider a building project in Massachusetts above $1.5 million, the law requires us to bring somebody on to get us through the designer selection process. So what that person would come in and work with the board to look at all the information we have and then see what we do.
See, when you really know what you're doing, it's easy to explain.
This is,
Thank you,
this is
Anthony.
for long term.
That would be long term, right?
Okay.
Yes.
Yeah.
So, and that where the Building Space and Needs Analysis Working Group is right now, is at the stage of going to be interviewing those two proposals and interviewing the people involved with them to move forward with that. So, and then I think I had mentioned before, even people have heard that Park and Rec was looking to construct a building down by Long Lake, but the perk test did not pass, and so they're back to the drawing board looking at their projects and their needs and everything. So, where, you know, it's complex, this all has to do with long-range planning. We're also looking at short-range, but, you know, short-term needs, which would be like, you know, meeting needs for a shorter period of time. So, the board continues to meet and work, and it's slow, but we're making progress. And that's just I just really wanted to keep it on the agenda because it's important that we pay attention to the space issues. You know, and so it's nice to know where things are with the groups that are working for you.
Okay. So just so we know, so this building is not being considered for anything, or is it going to be evaluated as to whether it fits any kind of a need at all in the future?
I think that's it's an ongoing process. We have looked
Yeah.
at this building already to some degree, but you know, as you come across one thing, then maybe, you know, you go back to the drawing board because you get another idea or you get input from somebody else that might help. But it's not part of that whole process that we were just talking about. Correct. We're just talking about, Anthony, right? Correct me if I'm wrong. But that process that we were talking about bringing in an outside group is to look at the new construction possibilities. That's all.
So
This building-
what's happening to this building then? Has that decision been made?
No decision's been made. I think we're still looking at that.
Well, that's
Is
what I
that a
was
part of
asking.
the proposal to reassess this building and do it differently? Or as well as to just put up a new complex?
You're talking about the proposal, the
Whatever the
people that are
proposal
coming
is.
in, that, they're coming in to look at the whole picture, but more specifically, the new construction, right?
So, yeah, so when you talk about things like, you know, the library did their due diligence and we have a dollar amount on what that project would be. And then, other buildings that we're talking about would be a senior center. Nancy? See the smile?
Notice
So-
I didn't look at you
I
because
know that, I know that. And then the town hall too, so, but we have no idea what that dollar amount is.
Okay,
when
so
you
it could be
hire-
either or both.
It depends on what the dollar amounts and what it all, what the options are available to us at the end of looking at all of this. So, you know, we know that, for instance, your building here today does not have any heat. So this is just wanted to throw that out there, but we don't have heat in the building today. But we had a study that looked at this building, and anytime you do any type of work to this building over a certain dollar amount, then it has to be fully brought up to
Triggers a renovation.
the AAB standards and so forth. And just to give you an example, that doorway is probably not AAB compliant. I know our elevators are not AAB compliant, because if you're in it, think about one thing: could you get a gurney in there? And the answer is going to be tough. It's going to be tough, especially if somebody was, God forbid, had to be worked on as they're going down an elevator. So, all of these would just contribute to the cost of doing this building. So, what our options are, we're not there yet. We're not there yet. As opposed to new, as opposed to complete renovation, additions, we're just not there.
So that's what I was asking. No decision has been made what to do with this building at all.
No.
It's just all still up in the air.
Yeah.
And that's
No
what this guy's
decisions
here
have been
for.
made, period.
That's what they're here for, right? The RFP.
Not necessarily, no. We went through a study.
new building.
I don't know if you got an opportunity to review the study that was already done
Yeah.
with the lead.
Yeah,
It's
yeah.
online, so it talked about some ideas of some dollar amounts, whether or not
Yeah,
some people agree with it or not. I think it did tell us a story, so,
right.
which led us to look at what are our options. If it's not this building, it's building new. Well, what does that look like?
Okay.
It's a very complex
Very
It
complex.
is.
issue, it is, and so it has to be done to some degree piecemeal, yeah.
Yeah.
So, the library went through the RFQ process.
We did all that.
So, yeah. So, and that really is pertaining to the new construction type of thing. So, and the expense to bring this building up to code for ADA and stuff would
You
be,
don't want to think about that.
no. So, yes, Bob?
My only question is, what are we doing short-term? In the
Oh, wait.
meantime, you're talking many years from now, by the time this all gets resolved. What are we doing to relieve the situation short-term? Are you trying to
Yes.
deal with that at all?
Yes.
Selectman Napoli has really been on
She had.
the front lines of looking at space that could be available. So we did go look at a couple of different properties around town, and then kind of figured out what we could possibly put into it. So,
DCU is desperately looking.
yeah,
Move, move!
yeah. Yeah. So, we'll have to still see.
We are-
So that is going on.
Oh, it is.
That's just not being set on the side. That's what I'm
No.
getting
Yeah,
at.
we
No.
continues to do
It's so easy to look at the big picture and not deal with the fact that we're still, you know,
Our agenda, every meeting, and the meetings are twice a month. Our agenda always contains a section, an agenda item of short-term. The whole RFQ thing is a long-term issue, but in looking at long-term solutions. But we have short-term, and people are brainstorming every meeting. It is on the agenda, so it is going on, and
Okay.
it's just hard to pull all the pieces together to figure it out, and whose needs, and who has the biggest needs, and we're looking at what are the short-term needs that could be met, and how can we meet those,
Even the very
temporarily.
small things, even small things about storage and filing cabinets, we're looking at every aspect. Cindy Napoli just met with Nicole and Tina and myself about the storage that we have in the COA space and what we can do better, even helping us look at different options. So even on the small scale, we're looking.
It's, yeah, pretty complex issue to be dealing with, really. Thank you. Okay, moving on then. The update on, I had written in affordable housing, the initiative, and one of the things that I requested, and Maren has been nice enough to come in, thank you, was to share with us some information about the amendments that the planning board has proposed for town meeting. It's Article 11 and 12, actually. So would you like to come up? There's people complain that they can't hear people unless they're near a microphone. So Maren Toohill is the well, I don't know your formal title, but anyway, I know that she knows everything about the planning board and what they're doing. So,
well, we finally shortened my title to town planner.
Town planner, okay, there we go. She's the official town planner, so, yeah, and very knowledgeable lady, so. And she has offered to come in and help us and update us on this, the warrant and the articles.
It's Marion, right?
Maren, M-A-R-E-N.
Okay, and your last name?
Toohill, T-O-O-H-I-L-L.
Slowly.
T-O-O-H-I-L-L.
T-O-O-H-I-L-L. Got it, okay.
All right. Thank you for inviting me. This works.
Yes, thank you.
So there are two zoning bylaw amendments that the planning board has proposed for fall town meeting. Article 11 is the accessory apartment bylaw. If you recall, in May of 2017, the same town meeting that we adopted the master plan, we already started on implementation, and one of the first things to implement was the accessory apartment bylaw, where you could add an accessory apartment attached to your house or inside your house with certain conditions. Over the past year and a half, with the building department and zoning board of appeals working with that bylaw, they found that it wasn't really doing a good job of fitting with exactly what the Littleton residents were looking for. So they suggested some changes, and these are the changes that are reflected in the proposal coming to town meeting. So it gives you 3 different types of accessory apartments that you could have. One is more of a true in-law apartment, that if there is a family member that you're trying to bring into the household, you don't have to, and this is where it goes into building code issues, you don't have to call it a 2-family home. You can just have by right, an accessory apartment under certain conditions, and the bylaw outlines exactly what those conditions are. But it makes it easier to get back to the true in-law style apartment. And then you could, so the second of the 3 types of accessory apartments would be a true accessory apartment where you convert, say, over the garage, or you add an attached structure to your house for a second dwelling unit. We hear that in some areas of the country, it's a lot of times the homeowner will be the one that sets up this apartment to how they want it to be done, and then they rent out the main part of the house to the renters that they're choosing. So so that would be the second way style, and the third style is usually thought of as like a carriage house. It's an accessory dwelling unit that's on the same property, but it's a separate structure. So if you have a detached garage, you could turn that into the accessory dwelling unit. So that's a detached. But anyway, the bylaw proposal is fairly long, but it takes that much wording to get through all the details of what you can allow and not allow.
And the consultant thinks that this fits what she was attempting to get us to do?
Actually, this change came through recommendations of the building department. So we worked with building department and zoning board of appeals and town council and planning board members.
No, I understand, but
Are there
I was
any
curious
age?
as to what the consultant said.
What Judy feels, I haven't run it by her.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Okay. Because she was very specific when she made the original recommendations as to what we do and to keep them loose.
Right, and I think, yeah.
Are there any age requirements in these three?
No.
No?
No. That was a good question.
Mm.
Yeah.
And so this is being recommended to make the change, to make it easier for people to.
Yeah, yeah. Yep, so anyway, the planning board had their public hearing on it on September 20th, I guess, and got a little bit of input, but are recommending that it be passed at town meeting. So the second zoning bylaw amendment is Article 12, and that's to amend the senior residential development bylaw. So the SRD was one of the package of 3 bylaw amendments from a year ago, last fall. What the bylaw proposal does is respond to some concerns about too much development in town. So to me, the biggest thing that the bylaw amendments do for senior residential development is it targets locations for where senior residential developments could go rather than allowing them town-wide and not based on proximity to other amenities. So it picks 3 areas. It picks near the commuter rail station, near the point, and near Littleton Common. So it could be either in those areas or close enough to those areas to have nearby amenities. To me, that's the biggest change.
Where are you going to find the land?
Oh, there's certainly.
There is?
Oh, yeah, absolutely.
Oh.
Yeah, yeah.
Basically, in the town common, or around the town common, is one of the places that they're talking about where you would have the amenities of other things, and with some land there to build a senior housing type of.
Right, and we're keeping the wide range of housing types, everything from the cottages, which are maximum of 1,800 square feet, single-family dwelling, up through townhouses, and then assisted living facilities and continuing care facilities that would take a larger piece of land, piece of property to be able to develop that type.
You may want to answer this or not, but what does this do to Cricket Lane and to the one in back of Minor Court, which have no amenities near them at all?
Zoning bylaw doesn't allow us to look backwards. It's forward-looking only. So those developments are both grandfathered. One through.
It doesn't automatically shut them out.
Oh, no.
They may never get them anyway, but it does not shut them out. Yeah.
It does not shut them out. And
I pointed out last month that one of the things that bothered me was that as soon as they decided a place, Cricket Lane, in this, said, every one of the neighbors has a sign out in front, don't do it. Not in my back. Basically, you could have said, not in my backyard. And so you're going to get it. You're going to get this no matter where you go. So.
That's not unusual in the development community. It's that's why to me it was so exciting to work on these bylaws. It was a grassroots collaborative effort. This is what we'd like to see in our town. That doesn't preclude you from getting the voices in opposition once a specific proposal comes in.
And I attended, one of the planning board meetings not too long ago, and it was really, I found it refreshing that, the developers were willing to meet with the Cricket Lane people and communicate and share their ideas so that they could work together, and I thought that was amazing.
Yeah.
Yeah, it really was. So.
And the revised proposal that came out of some of those discussions, to me, looked like a much better proposal.
So, that's wonderful that, and the planning board helped
Very interesting.
pull that together, I think, so that.
A little bit of wheeling and gnashing of
But it
teeth.
does
together.
point out to us that just having made the amendments doesn't solve all the problems.
Oh, absolutely.
It's such a process. I think that's been an eye-opening experience to us on the board, and it should be to everybody in the community. It is such a process, and it's going to take time to actually see it, but we're getting there, I think.
I have the article here that was in the Sun that Kennard put in 3 amendments, changing all the time because they were not meeting the demands, and it's still in the works.
Oh, yeah,
to
it is.
change.
An update on
To
the
change.
2 properties.
Just a minute.
Yeah.
All right, excuse me. Patty wanted to say something.
Maren gave me an update on the 2 properties, which I will give you when my
Okay.
turn comes up.
Okay.
So anyway, so those are the 2 zoning bylaw amendments that are proposed. The planning board has had their public hearings and recommends that both of those pass at town meeting where zoning
So you
needs.
want all the seniors out to vote yes.
It would
Yes.
certainly be helpful.
Yes, so, and I.
Pay attention.
Well, I'm grateful that you came in at the last minute too. And Mary, we're fortunate that she was available because I did not plan ahead. But it
Thank
occurred
you
to
for
me
asking.
that it would be helpful to all of us, myself included, to get more information about it. So, and if we cannot be educated as board members, then we can't help seniors understand. So, thank you very much.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Thank you, Mayor.
Okay, there was one other, speaking of education and regarding affordable housing too, we wanted to mention the fact that the videos that were done a year ago, actually last month, I think it is September, about the whole initiative to get the affordable housing project going and accepted by the town at the town meeting a year ago in November. There were videos made by Maren, and she was in a couple of them. Judy Barrett, who is the consultant Bob just mentioned and asked Maren about whether or not she was involved in these amendments. But there was Judy Barrett, it was Pamela, because Pamela was the director at the time, and Ed Mullen. And I think, Maureen, you have access, and we wanted to remind folks, those videos are still available on the Littleton LCTV, program, so that if you wanted to access them, it's very helpful to, even for board members, to review those, one of the videos anyway, at least, to get information about what it's all about, if you just are starting from scratch. So, can you share that with people,
I
Maureen?
can. So, one of the things that you need to do is to go onto the town website, LCTV. And then once you're on that website, then you're going to go to LCTV on demand.
Yep.
And then type in housing in the search bar. Once you've done that, then the videos will come up. And then you can just click on the videos and watch it.
So,
If you have Comcast, your stations are 8, 9, and 99. And if you have Verizon, it's 36, 37, and 39.
So we can either do this on our computer or do it
Or on the TV.
yep, thank you.
Okay?
Yeah, I know a lot of people don't know how to navigate around those programs, so we thought it would be good to get the information out. And Patty says she has some information Maren has updated her on, so we need to hear that from her.
The 2 properties on King Street, up behind Weber's near the high school. That was Field's proposal that had 30 homes, and I went to all those meetings on that. That now has a new proposal of only 17 cottages and duplex-style units in a looped road. So with 17 houses, 2 of them would be for the subsidized affordable housing at $187,000. Several on-site amenities include walking paths, raised bed gardens, and a gazebo, as well as an area in the future shared tennis courts with the high school. This proposal now has just starting to go to peer review, so it's a brand new proposal. That'll be on the planning board for the November 1st meeting. The Cricket Lane development has been revised, as was just mentioned, and it's been in the paper. That was over 30 houses, is now just proposing 19 cottages on a cul-de-sac. 2 units would be affordable. This is in response to the concerns of the review board and Judy Barrett, as well as the developer meeting with the neighbors based on their letter.
Yeah.
The planning board expressed support for that new layout and continued public hearings. And they're going to be meeting with the planning board on December 6th. So those 2 proposals are drastic changes to what was originally proposed. So going to town meeting, as much as I don't hear well at the town meeting, Maren gives me an update afterwards.
That's great.
If you can watch the planning board on TV, you can see the same thing.
Right, you don't have to go to meetings in person, but you can watch them.
It's a shame they don't have closed
it's been-
captioning.
And
Right.
you can also go on, you're gonna do that actually.
That's good information, thank
And you
you.
can also go online and get a copy of the actual proposal, if you want to read it in depth. But it's very well done, and they do listen.
They do.
They do
I've learned,
listen.
yes. So I think, and you know,
You might not think they're listening, but they are listening.
and it is a slow process. It's
It's a
frustrating.
very- I mean, this is great. I'll be dead and buried, but it's great.
But, you know, that's what has to happen, and it is, you know, gonna be slow. And I know that, people have talked, and the issues about having apartments, you know, that's not dead either, but it just hasn't come up yet, so, but it's in the works.
I
think.
went to 2 meetings of those.
I know that people recognize that, David.
I went to 2 meetings on the discussions of those bylaws, and that was very intense.
I'm sure.
It was, but to get the point across that it meets all the needs of the different ideas of what people want, if they have an in-law or a separate apartment, who can go in it, what's it gonna look like, how's it gonna impact. That was very interesting, very, very interesting. That's what I wanted to just give an update on how those 2 proposals changed so drastically.
And they did,
And
from
it
the
did.
first, you know, but it has been a lot of work on the part of the planning board, and they've, you know, worked with these contractors, and they go back, the contractors as well, they go back to the drawing board, they've come back, you know, so it's kind
And
of,
I was there, I kept emphasizing 1 level, no steps. And, you know, they do listen. You know, you have, and it is a variety. It's different styles, but you still have to emphasize your point. And then they look at it and they come back with a whole new proposal. So being repetitive and annoying probably has some impact.
hopefully.
That's all I wanted to give an update on those 2 proposals.
Thank you. Good information.
What was the third one?
Third,
The minor court is the King Street Field course. The one behind minor court is the King Street Field.
Yeah.
And the Cricket Lane, and what's the third one?
That was the only 2.
there was 2, only 2, Bob,
Oh, okay, I thought you said you would give them updates of 3.
no, 2.
They had 3 for the apartments. dwellings.
Well, that's another thing that was part of Judy's presentation, and that's still out there, and I know people are aware that that's a need in town, right? Mm-hmm. And Liz has been advocating, of course, and she knows too, I think, and has been in discussions about that, so. All right, anything else about housing and planning board? We're making progress, I think, so that's encouraging. Moving on then to the emeritus event.
We just might want to mention that that meeting on Wednesday is for people who are involved in planning boards, or any other boards in the town, and developers trying to determine for the general area. This is just not Littleton, this is a whole group of towns. And they're going to meet together over in Devon's for lunch and talk about, what is necessary to get affordable housing into a community. So we'll see what comes out of that. I'm going over and just to see what's.
That's it. I was aware of that, and I think it's nice we have representation there so that you can bring information back. And it is from a contractor's, it's a group.
Point of view.
Yeah. So that's a good thing. Anything else before we move on? Okay. Then the emeritus event, I just wanted to remind all of you and the public as well that this coming next Monday, a week from today, at 2 o'clock, we will be having the Friends and the COA are hosting a tea for Barbara Cam, who we awarded emeritus status to after 27 years of service on the board. So I hope everyone can be present. Everyone is invited. Public people, please come. If you know Barbara Cam at all, many people in town know her. Everyone is welcome. It should be a fun day. We're expecting.
They don't need to sign up, do they?
No.
No.
Nope.
And it's going to be done where? Is it
It's
going to
in
be
the
done?
multi-purpose room.
Multi-purpose, okay.
Right here at Shattuck Street, 33 Shattuck Street. And just come, and I'm sure we will have a few laughs. Barbara has a great sense of humor, so it'll be a fun event, I think. So, and if anyone has any questions, you can speak to Barbara McCrae or Nancy Levine or myself. And we're kind of trying to pull this together. So, okay. Now we can go back to changing the time of our monthly meetings. And I think we all heard Keith, as he said he spoke to Dr. Michaels about Dr. Michaels' request to, and Keith said to meet at 4:30. That was what he just said to us. And the request was, originally Dr. Michaels did not specify 4:30, but he said I think after 3:30, after 4. Or after 4. So, but Keith just referred to it as at 4:30 on Tuesday or a Thursday.
Oh,
And it's been, we talked about this at our last meeting, and we took a vote that wasn't really directed at the issue per se, and I think we need to be more specific perhaps, and look at the specific, 4:30 time, or 5 even if you wanted to, but if that worked. But I think we perhaps need to take a new vote which addresses Dr. Michaels' request specifically. So,
I thought we did.
well,
I
change.
thought that vote we talked all about the times involved, the fact that it was not possible to meet late in the afternoon for many people. It also stated that we really found the change of days to be very difficult, and I don't understand why it's even on the agenda.
As I understand it, we need to be specific and address the specific after. He originally, we talked about it, was after 4 p.m. on Tuesdays and after 3 p.m. on Thursdays works well. Our vote needs to address the fact that the times, we were talking about were specific times, and do we want to meet? Can we change the time of our meetings to 4:30 on a Tuesday or a Thursday is a much more specific vote, and we have to do, I think we need to do that. We need to revisit it and reword our voting and then take a vote.
So I think that one of the things that comes to my mind initially is that the Littleton Community Dinner is on Tuesday at 5:30, which for at least 3 of us, sometimes
Is it
4 of us,
Every Tuesday?
every Tuesday,
Okay.
and has been for years.
Yeah.
I don't think they'll change to amend for us. But I know that that would be an issue for those of us who do go to the Littleton Community Dinner.
Or
That's
even
on Tuesday, right?
That's
You're
on
talking-
Tuesdays, yeah?
Or participate in
Right,
helping. with
right,
preparation-
or
in preparation for them.
preparing food,
Correct.
which people do.
That's right.
So as far as that is concerned, I think that that is a real issue.
That was one that was, I don't believe, mentioned, but that's, you're correct, I think, you know, in that, you're right. So, and we did, Bob, you're right too, we did talk about all of those, the pros and the cons and the problems that it would create.
It is now 20 till 3.
And
We
you have
are
to leave.
not done
Right,
our meeting. If we were not going to meet until at least 4:30 or later,
6 o'clock
then we're talking 6:30, 7 o'clock.
No.
I vote
Take a
that
vote.
we do not.
you need to, if, we need to complete discussion, does anyone else have anything to say first before we put a
Well-
motion on the floor?
I have, well, as everybody knows, I started a job. It either ends at 4 or it starts at 4. So that would make it a hardship for the place that I'm working.
And for you?
Yeah,
On those days or every day?
it depends. I usually do 3 days a week. And I usually do not do I often say no to Tuesdays because of all the other things that are going on in our personal life.
Okay. Anyone
I'm
else?
just curious. He went before the selectmen knowing his position. They approved him, and he expects the board of 9 members to change and accommodate him. Am I saying it correctly?
I wouldn't say expect, I would say he's requesting.
He's hoping.
He's requesting.
He knew what the score was when he went to apply before the selectmen.
Well, not
I
necessarily.
Four
think he
meetings,
did.
and he has not attended one.
Well, Mary, I don't think that's true, because there's you're looking at a board member, you don't necessarily know when they meet and find all that out. I will, people don't do that.
Right.
And you don't certainly say, do you have a manual of what your duties are, and, but yes, he does have the manual that explains that he needs to serve on a subcommittee, for example, and that the job description is that you attend meetings, and you need to go to the events that are going on for seniors, like the Oktoberfest and things when you can. So, yes.
So that would be a hardship for him.
What I
that would be
have
hard.
put in the minutes is, in terms of this particular item, there are conflicts with both late afternoon and Tuesday and Thursday as a day and time to meet for many board members.
Correct.
True.
So what do we do now?
Well, I
Take
think
a vote.
we need to, if discussion is over, and no more discussion.
Marge, can we, in trying to be as specific, can we say all those in favor for a Tuesday and people vote, all those in favor for a Thursday and people vote? That way there's no question afterwards of, well, if it isn't this day, could it be this day?
That's fine. If you wish, the board wishes to, I need a motion. So.
I also want to just, you just mentioned it, but the other meeting, like the other board that he has to meet on, is he going to be able to do that? That's part of your, our
Subcommittee.
job.
The subcommittee.
The subcommittee.
Subcommittee.
Right.
No,
Is he-
I have not asked him specifically, but if he cannot attend this meeting at this time, these meetings at 10. I know the awareness subcommittee meets, it's once a month, but they meet at 12:30 on a Friday. So it does not appear from the his request that he's available, obviously, at other times, I think he would have let us know that. But I can't be specific, I don't know. I have to be honest, I've not specifically said and asked him about that.
I move that we vote on the Tuesday afternoon, 4 o'clock or 4:30?
4:30.
4:30.
Wait a minute.
I had,
It's
He
4:30.
suggested after 4 on Tuesday.
Right, but I think
So
Keith
4:30.
told us
Keith
today
said 4:30.
Keith just said, yes, the request to meet at 4:30 on a Tuesday or a Thursday. That was what Keith said.
Yeah.
So I think we need to have a motion, please.
I
Yes,
moved.
Patty.
It needs a second.
I vote for Thursday at 4:30.
Well, we don't have a motion on the floor yet, so. So,
Okay, so-
may I have a motion to, go ahead, Mary.
no,
If
I
we're-
moved.
no, I
It
was
needs a
going to
second.
second her.
Okay, wait a minute. It was, yeah, we're doing this as, my problem is not to get the idea that someone who's moving this is in agreement with it. They're moving it in order to make a decision.
Right.
Correct.
Okay, it was moved to change,
A motion was made.
The motion was made, yeah.
to change our meeting to Tuesday.
No, that is not my motion. My motion is that we vote on whether or not we would change. I am not moving that we change.
Okay, that's what I'm saying. Okay, so we're all agreed that we're gonna take a vote, so I don't think we need to do that.
Correct.
We need to have a motion to vote something.
Right.
She just made it.
That's what I thought I
She's making the
moved.
motion to vote, not to,
Yeah.
not, to vote what? On?
On Tuesday, right?
On whether or not we would meet on a Tuesday at 4:30. And then afterwards, we can move to the next
Thursday.
part. So we will be very specific on both
Each
of
day.
these,
Well,
both of these
basically,
times.
just to be clear, just to understand, basically it says we want to vote on whether to change our meeting to 4:30 on Tuesday. It's the same
Correct.
thing.
Whether or not we would.
That's all you need to say. Correct, David.
All right.
However, she's already put that motion
So-
forward, and
so-
it's on
Right,
her for
Give
Tuesday.
give me the motion as you want it on there.
I move that we vote on whether or not
Wait a minute. Okay,
we change our board meeting to Tuesday at 4:30.
I second that.
My opinion, what this does is it only agrees that we're going to take a vote. If we-
Correct.
If we all vote yes, it means we're gonna take a vote.
No,
That's sort of what I thought too.
That's right.
No.
That's, I think,
You can't word it that way.
No,
You're
I
gonna
agree.
say, I
You're
move to
voting,
change to
you're
our
voting
board
on whether to
meeting.
vote, is what you're saying.
right.
all right. I will rescind my motion.
David make a motion.
Let,
David,
I make a
make the
motion,
motion.
I make a motion that we move to change our meeting till 4:30 on Tuesdays,
Okay,
first Tuesday of the month. I make a motion that we change it.
David,
Does that cover it?
yes.
so moved. Okay, now say it to me.
Make a motion that we change our meeting time to the first Tuesday, is it the first Tuesday? First Tuesday of the month at 4:30.
First or second, doesn't matter, I don't think.
Which one is it?
It's usually first.
All right, first.
Not always the
Maybe
first
Dr.
Tuesday.
Angus might
Well,
say
we can
so.
always, we
Yeah, we
first
can worry
Tuesday.
about that.
First Tuesday.
First
That's the motion.
I second.
Second.
All right, do you have it, Bob?
Second.
It's been moved and
Yes.
seconded, okay. Moved and seconded,
Wait a
seconded.
minute.
I'm just gonna repeat it for you.
what I've got is David so moved and it was seconded that we change our board meeting to the second Tuesday at 4:30 PM.
Second Tuesday of the month at
I
4:30
said
PM.
first.
I said first.
Oh, first.
Well,
Sorry.
we meet on first Mondays, right?
No, second.
All right, I'm sorry, then make it,
I'm sorry.
make it second then, okay.
The other one. 4:30 PM.
Second Sunday, second Tuesday, all right, second Tuesday.
Okay, they were seconded that we change our board meeting to the second Tuesday of the month at 4:30 PM. Okay, now you're gonna take a vote.
All right,
Okay, it's been seconded.
And I
it's been seconded. All those in favor? All those
I
opposed? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5.
Are you voting?
This
Mary?
is no, right?
This is all those that are
this is
opposed
no,
to
Mary.
changing it.
Right, oppose, okay, gotcha.
All right, so, I think we have all those, any abstentions? One abstention.
Okay, in favor were 5?
No,
Six.
no one was in
Zero.
favor.
No one was
No,
in
okay,
favor.
no one was in favor, yeah, 0.
One abstention, and 1, 2, 3, 4, 5,
6, yeah, okay.
6 against.
About March.
I
I
don't
was
know
against it,
whether
I
March
was
vote-
against it.
Oh,
You
7.
can't vote,
Yes, she
only in
can.
terms of a tie.
No, she can vote.
She can
She can
vote.
vote.
Of course you can vote.
Sure she
Yeah.
can vote.
Yes,
I
she can.
I can too.
Okay. The chair usually does not vote
I'm not
unless it's a
watching
tie.
this on TV.
And 1 abstention. Okay, the motion is defeated.
All right, I make a motion that we change our meetings to the second Thursday of the month at 4:30.
I second it.
Wait a second, I gotta copy and paste. It'll do it. Why is it giving me a hard time?
Okay.
Okay, well, it's second Thursday, right?
Second Thursday at 4:30.
Call for a vote.
All right,
And it's been seconded.
it's been seconded, I'm sorry. All those in favor? 1.
Okay,
All those opposed? 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 opposed.
Count yourself.
I did.
Okay.
no abstention.
No abstentions. Thank you. Are you all set, Bob?
I don't know.
All right, then moving on. We have no new business that I'm aware of. And Maureen needs to leave, so we will miss you. Sorry.
I have to leave in 40 minutes too.
Okay. And I just wanted to share with people that I will be adding to the agenda in November, item number 7 under new business. And this is I've been requested, and I think it's a good idea, to put in an item called other business. And that would allow us to, if somebody has something they want to say or bring to the board's attention, and even if we have to table discussion because, you know, whatever, but at least a person has the opportunity to speak about and bring things to the board. So I have a note to include that on the November agenda.
That's a good idea.
Okay, thank you. Have a
Bye,
good one.
Maureen.
Are we having reports?
We are. Maureen had to leave early, though,
Okay.
that's all. Okay, moving on then to our reports. Tina and Nicole, I'm so sorry, it's been kind of long today.
You're not gonna do mine?
It isn't on there, and I
There was one.
budget.
Monthly
Oh, I'm
report.
sorry, I'm sorry. I spoke out of turn, but are you in a hurry, Tina?
No,
and-
did you print them?
No, because I can't print them, but
In
Liz
the
did.
packet,
We
there's
could
the
make
one
There is-
report.
Packet.
Could we maybe let the ladies?
Yes,
over?
that's
They
what I
were
just
already
said.
up.
Bring, this is the only thing that Liz has, Bob. It's in your
That's
packet.
not in
I
the
know
packet.
that.
That doesn't go in the packet. That's for you personally to do the Mart report. It's the other one.
That's
We
the
have
one I
this
can't
one.
open. Tina, Nicole, none of us can open it.
That's Tina's
That's
report.
Tina's report.
And come forward, please.
Okay. Open Excel.
Oh my God.
No, none of us, RT's looked at it, we can't open your file.
I don't know what the problem is, but we can't, I can't get it, so it isn't in here, no.
Come on up.
We don't want to print this again. We're gonna make it, don't print this again, then. We wouldn't. That's just for your benefit, I guess. Okay, thank you. I'm sorry about that. But it's, there's a little confusion over, I guess, getting access to a report that we once were used to getting, so.
Right, yeah, I tried to open it too, and I couldn't get that report either, I don't, yeah, okay.
Whatever.
Yeah.
Okay.
Okay.
So, and this is Tina's report, the outreach report, which covers both of you ladies, right? Everyone knows that. You have it in your packet. You're on, gals.
All right.
Thank you.
Well, basically, September was a busy month. Nicole and I were busy doing fuel assistance research, and Nicole went to the training in Framingham, and on November 1st, we can start with new applicants, which is a different process than the recertification process. Nicole will fill you in a little bit on the support group she's doing on Tuesdays. I think she has that written in her report. And our caregiver support group is going on a little bit earlier this month, October 24th, with Sharon Noley from Summit Healthcare, which is a division of Fallon, and she's going to be our speaker in October. And remember, a week earlier, October 24th, as opposed to the 31st. And then at the end of November, we have Cooperative Elder Services, the Adult Day Health Program, coming in. I think, we're getting ready. Liz has trained us on what we're doing during her absence, and we both feel confident, along with the addition of Sue in the office, to get the work done, and want to wish her the best over her 12-week leave.
We're all excited for her.
I know, we're all so happy for her. We're all telling her, enjoy those 12 weeks. They'll go really fast.
It will.
Many of the businesses are allowing babies to be brought into the workplace with the mother now.
It sounds like a great idea.
It does sound like a great idea.
I could get a lot done with the baby strapped.
Well, especially when they're small like that. They're easy to, they don't move around much.
And one of the changes that we had made earlier in the year are the birthday parties are being done quarterly. So in November, we will have a September, October, and November birthday party, and that will be a week after the Veterans Day lunch. So we hope all the September, October, and November birthday participants will be able to come and celebrate in
Makes for a bigger party.
It does make
It's
for a
fun.
bigger party, and it was a lot of fun when we had the first one during the summer. So I know Nicole is looking forward, and she has a lot what's going on in the upcoming month. Thank you.
So we're continuing the addiction support group the first Tuesday of every month, 5:30 to 6:30. So that will be November 6th. Living Alone and Living Well group will be November 15th. Like Tina said, the caregiver support group for November is November 28th with Cooperative Elder Services of Groton. Social anxiety group November 6th and November 20th. And the birthday party is November 14th at 1 o'clock. So you have to call and sign up.
So we know what size cake to buy.
You want? And that's it.
Yeah, I would love to make a comment because I think it's wonderful what, I think it's Nicole, and no offense
To Tina,
okay. No, to Tina, but just with all of the things that are posted to Facebook, is it Nicole that does that? you know, and I'm sure you collaborate on what's going out there and everything, but I think it's wonderful to see all of the things that pop up, you know,
Yeah.
too, that are just like, oh, look what's happening now. And Jamie's, that's where I first saw the issue about Springdale Farm and the change, so, you know, it's great. And I know not everybody's on Facebook, so.
I know. I'm glad some people are seeing it.
Well,
It's
yeah,
nice
no,
to hear. Sometimes I feel like I'm writing to nobody, but I'm glad people are reading it.
I think there are, and we need to encourage people to, you know, you don't have to get involved in Facebook just to be a member, really, to do a lot. You can still access and read things, but, so I know they've had some hacking issues lately, but
Yeah.
it's
I
a
think
way
we
of
have
life.
about 300 followers, somewhere around there.
Well, it'll increase as time goes on, we get the
Yeah.
word out, I think, so, thank you.
Thank you.
Anything for Tina or Liz, Tina or Nicole, sorry.
No.
No? All right.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank
We have nothing to do for a while now.
I
So
know.
you can get this, her director's report done.
So before I jump into my report, I just want to thank Tina and Nicole, who will be covering for me while I'm out for the next 12 weeks. This is my last week in the office. Starting Monday, I'll start maternity leave until January 14th. I'll be returning then. And Tina and Nicole and Sue Raymond have been divvied up my tasks and trained, and I have full confidence that everything will continue to run smoothly while I'm gone, so I hope everyone can rest easy that everything will be just fine while I'm away.
It'd be nice if you brought her in and let us meet her.
It's a he.
Yeah. So this will be my second boy.
Sue Raymond.
Oh,
I'll bring Sue Raymond.
we all have the baby on the brain.
I know. So
Time to go home.
We'll invite Sue to the next meeting.
Oh, yes.
Oh my goodness.
Well, it would be nice for the public to see who she is too, and to know her, yes.
Yeah. Sue
I'm
is
not
very well known.
sure.
Yeah.
Anyways, I did want to also thank everyone for all the work done on the wellness fair. It was a great success. I wanted to just quickly read through the list of vendors who brought and donated door prizes. $50 gift cards, gift baskets, really so generous of all these people. We have Circle Health, Holly Quovo, Alan Bell, Right at Home, Eckel, Hogue, Morgan and O'Connor, Neshoba Park, Dave Crocker, So Vital of Littleton, Bevergoli, Pure Bar Westford, Life Care Center, and Springdale Farm also donated a bushel of apples. So many thanks to them and everyone who made that such a successful event. Moving on to my report, upcoming events, Tina and Nicole covered most of it. I just wanted to add one more thing. On November 21st, which is the day before Thanksgiving, Life Care Center of Acton would like to host a lunch and learn about living at home with COPD. It's a free event. They'll provide lunch. They'll do a lecture. So that's November 21st. So if you don't want to cook the day before Thanksgiving, come out, see us. And
Is it here?
it's here.
Okay.
It's here. We'll see how many people sign up and decide which room we'll have it in.
That's a great topic.
Yeah, COPD affects a lot of people.
Yeah, boy.
In other business, we are still looking for a part-time van driver. So if anybody knows anybody, or if anybody watching wants a part-time job, reach out to the Human Resources Department here. It's a great gig. We have a great team of people. We have great drivers. So we are still looking for the second driver.
Do they need a special license?
No special license. They do have to do some additional training with MART and submit to drug testing, I believe.
Okay.
And then the last thing I wanted to point out is, you all have a copy of my report, but in fiscal year 18, we provided 5,465 rides to folks in the community on our 2 vans. That's not even counting all the work that Tina and Nicole do arranging volunteer drivers. That's not even included in this number. But over 5,400 rides were provided by the EHS department. That's incredible.
Busy.
Yeah, very busy. All right.
Wow. It doesn't slow down.
No.
It really, oh, you know what? You might want to let people know we have a new.
Oh, we have new
Yes.
new brochures and matching signage downstairs outside the elevator and near Nicole's office. New welcome signs that match our new brochures.
They're very, very attractive. I'm keeping that. That's mine.
Oh.
I only have one. But, you know, something happened. I just wanted, before we have a motion to adjourn, and we're doing pretty good, but I wanted to mention one thing because this just happened at the knitting group prior to, you know, my coming here. I leave that group early to get here for the meeting. And a lady stopped by asking us to knit 3 rows of a project that, and I don't want to say too much on TV here about it. But as we were sitting there chatting, though, come to find out, you know, this lady that stopped by said, I just realized I'm a senior recently. You know? And so she said, so we were filling her in on all of the options and the things available to her as a senior, and the COA and the Department of Elder and Human Services, and she said, and she's lived here a long time, she said, I never knew the town of Littleton had a Department of Human Services. She knew there was the COA, and she knew there was, you know, things for seniors, but she just did not know. And she said, I think you ought to advertise that and get the word out that there is a Department of Human Services here in town and that services people, because I had no clue. And so I just wanted to share that, and I thought, you know, because you people do such great work, and word gets out, you know, to a certain group, but there are people that just don't know. So, you know, it just struck home with me, and I'm like, wow, it's amazing to me that, you know, and I think Maureen was there, and she's not here now, but she said, well, I can understand that, because until I got involved down here, I didn't realize it either.
Nor did I.
So, you know, we need to learn from that, and, you know, not that we're COA, and people do have a sense of that, but they don't totally understand the difference between the Friends and the COA and all of that, but they just didn't have a clue that the director and the outreach workers service people other than seniors.
We added a new blurb to our brochure saying, regardless of age, regardless of your income, we'll help anybody who comes to us. And it's so true, because we have families come in with young children. Tina and Nicole are just nonstop busy. It's not just elders coming in.
And I think, even though this is the COA board meeting, I think it's important information to get out to the community. So I just wanted to mention that. Thank you. All right. And hearing that, before I entertain a motion to adjourn, we wish you well.
Thank you. Thank you for all the support over the past 9 months.
Well, you know, everybody loves babies, and so you brought a new element here for us to concentrate on, so it's exciting. So. Okay.
Motion to adjourn?
Moved and seconded.
Seconded.
Thank you. To adjourn the meeting. All those in favor?
Aye.
Oh, I didn't accept the reports. Rescind that motion. I'm sorry. I'm sorry. Totally blew it.
That's all.
We need to make a motion to
accept
accept all the
Motion to
reports.
accept all the reports.
Second.
All those in favor to accept the reports?
Aye.
Okay.
Motion to adjourn.
So, and Mary seconded that, and all those in favor of adjourning?
Aye.
Aye. So unanimous vote, Bob, and I apologize for that. I almost totally